NPC bikini competitor, currently on my reverse, and I'm also a nutritional therapy practitioner, and this is my week 10 reverse vlog. Before I get started, I have to tell a funny story as I sit here feeling like a ghost. I had a dream last night, which was definitely a nightmare, that I was at a show, doing a show, and I had not gotten tanned. And I was like panicked and like running around trying to figure out if I could just do the top coat, like if I could just have them spray me with the top coat, if that would work. I mean, it was one of those chaos dreams, but I think it came from, I had looked down at one point yesterday at my ankles and saw how white they were. And it's that time of year. It's December. We basically get like an hour of daylight. I'm being dramatic. Next week is the solstice and I cannot wait. The sun is going to be coming back, but either way, I am just rocking the like goth level pale at the moment. So all of that aside, I have a lot to talk about this week. I have not had a lot to talk about in the past few check-ins, but I have a ton to talk about this week. I mentioned in my last video that I am getting a new coach, and in this video, I'm going to talk all about that because that has been a huge part of my week this week. So before I do, here are my check-in photos. I only did pictures in what I call the harsh lighting and no video. I just wasn't feeling it to pose this week, and that is something I will talk about. But either way, here are my pictures, front, back, and my side pose, pictures from this week. So my new coach is Aaron Burke of Bodybuilding with Aaron. Aaron is an incredible person, an amazing bodybuilder. He just competed back-to-back weeks, which I've never done that. I've had 3 weeks in between shows, but never done 2 weeks right in a row. So he competed twice. This last time was actually a PCA, so he is British. So that's the British Bodybuilding Federation. He looked amazing. He looked like a mass monster, but man, just really stacked classes. So if you do not follow Aaron, here's all his social media stuff here. Definitely give him a follow. He puts out incredible content. In fact, he even had me on as a guest on his podcast a couple of months ago. I will link that in the description box and also let's put it here. So it was great. We talked about nutrition. We plan to do a follow-up episode and talk more about it. I initially connected with Aaron at the Olympia and was just so impressed. I mean, I was like, wow, this is a genuinely good person. And he and I kind of chatted a little bit a few weeks ago. It's been probably a month ago. Just kind of, I was telling him about how I was feeling, kind of touching base with him, and eventually did reach out to him to see if he would be willing to accept me as a client. So he said yes, and here we are. So I am very excited. It's been just, I got my second check-in at the end of the week. My first one, like I said, he was competing. So there was a slight delay in getting feedback, which was, I told him, like, don't even worry about my feedback. I mean, it was my starting week. I was shocked he got me started before his show. So super, super impressed with the level of feedback I received. Extremely detailed, extremely thorough. I feel like in a week of working with Aaron, I have gotten more than a year's worth of interaction with my previous coach, who, again, my previous coach was incredible. I never could have done the things I did without him. This is no shade to him, but the level of interaction and everything that I've been getting with Aaron it's blown me away. I'm so pleased. I mean, just beside myself pleased. Got new training plans, which I've done. So started out with a deload. And so I'll just kind of read through. So he sends his feedback via video, so there's really nothing to read. So I'll just kind of recap it. But I think what might be helpful is for me to talk about the things I said to him and then what he said back. This intro is going to be very long, by the way. So hopefully you're all here for it. I'm here for it. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about. So on the check-in form, asked about issues with digestion. I said no issues. How am I feeling overall? I said I'm feeling pretty good. Normal life stress and a busy work week this week, because this was the week kind of after Thanksgiving. I'm mentally working through needing to gain weight and body fat and eating more and realizing how under-recovered I have been. I mean, that was his initial kind of thoughts to me, was that I am still extremely lean, which I know people say it, and it's so weird because I really don't feel it. But people keep telling me I'm lean, so I'm going to believe them. So that was, I am working through that. I'm currently on a deload week. That was the first plan, was the deload week. It was asked how my, the next question is kind of about how your recovery is going, how your workouts are. I'm starting to feel more recovered. I've been pushing myself really hard, and I don't think I realized how much of a recovery hole I was in. The first few workouts of the deload, I was still feeling a bit crampy in my legs, like I was cramping all the time. And that was something I frequently told my coach, especially during my prep, that I was just cramping all the time. It was never something he commented back on, so I just kind of pushed through it and thought it was normal. Cramping my legs, much less today, and a very mild amount of soreness in my glutes. Anything else he should know? I said I will start getting my glucose readings. He asked for blood sugar readings. I run out of test strips, so I got more test strips. Personally struggling a bit with adding body fat, but I'm working through it. As noted below, I have been having some increasing hunger, and some days it's been quite high. I'm hopeful that this could be due to my hormones coming back online and possible ovulation. Time will tell. I have my blood draw scheduled for Monday morning. I ordered some of the supplements he recommended. Asked for weight, blood pressure, how much water I drink, how I rate myself on sticking to my diet, my recovery, my digestion, stress, appetite. I said mostly well controlled, but I have been having some strong hunger at times and some food focus. How many steps a day, normal routine, and then personal goals for the week. And he said, be honest in areas that you could do better. So I said, number one, pre-workout food intake. So I've been doing my workouts completely fasted, which is something he's asked me to change right away. Getting better as the week went on. There were a couple of days when one day when I just completely forgot. I was like, I got into the gym and I was like, oh shoot, I'm supposed to eat. Overall food intake, again, getting better as I adjust to the new plan. And I'll talk more about what the plan setup is in the outro. My sleep duration, I said, I know I feel better when I get closer to 8 hours of sleep per night. And for the past couple of months, I've been averaging 6. And that's it. Anything else about digestion? Anything else you should know about training? I just said direct chest work and pull-ups are very uncomfortable for me. Prefer not to have pull-ups or chest flies in my plan if possible. Incline chest is okay. What my sleep score was, HRV, and then my check-in pictures, which you have seen. So, excuse me, that was what I sent to him as my, filled out his form, which as you can see is extremely in depth and actually has prompts. So it's not just me just kind of writing whatever. So that was really good. The initial feedback I got from him was just kind of going over my training footage that I sent throughout the week. And that was the bulk of it. Just kind of talking about more lifestyle stuff. So it was really great. I have, like I said, just nothing but positive things to say overall. I'll talk again, like I said, more about the setup of everything and kind of my macro breakdown and how I'm kind of structuring my meals differently and all that kind of good stuff in the outro, just so that this intro is not super long. So that was my check-in for the week. The feedback was good. I have some great tips. The other things you're going to see in this video coming up, okay, I know what you're all thinking. You saw the picture. I bought more from Redcon 1. Yes. I love their products. I am not sponsored, but I do love their products. I couldn't help myself. That Black Friday special sale of 50% off. So, that makes that protein powder less than $1 a scoop, which right now, if you know the prices of food in general, but also of just protein, and this is for a whole food protein. This is not some like cheap whey concentrate protein that you're getting for $1 a scoop. So cannot recommend Redcon 1 highly enough for those products. Again, no, not trying to push supplements on anybody. I don't get anything from this, but you will see in my next clip that I did a massive haul for kind of Black Friday, all that stuff combined. So I got more from Redcon 1. I went to Trader Joe's. Amazon Subscribe and Save, and just some other stuff from Amazon that was on sale. Vitacost, NYX, got some makeup. So all of that. One thing I realized that I forgot to talk about, I had it sitting out on the counter, but I forgot to talk about it. So as I mentioned, Erin added in some new supplements, which I'll talk more about in the outro. One of them though is this one. This is Tudka. This is a great supplement to kind of help with bile formation and just kind of overall digestive health. It says on there cleanse and detox, liver support, gut health, and immunity support. So Tudka was one of the things I picked up on Amazon during it just happened to be one of the things that was on sale on the Black Friday specials, but that's been great. Added that in, has been a good addition so far. So hopefully that's all good. You will see that in the next clip, and then I will be back. I'll be right here. I'm going to talk more about what Aaron's feedback was, how he has structured my new training, how he structured my new plans, what our goals are going forward, because we have them, and all that good stuff. So thank you all so much for being here. Enjoy the massive haul. And yes, before you even ask, am I running out of space to store all this protein? I sure am. Like, I have a closet, like it's like my hall closet is literally like stacked now with supplements. And just yesterday I'm like, where do I even put all this protein powder? So it's a problem. I have a problem. Yeah. If you ever think you want to date a bikini competitor, think about things like this. She's cold all the time. She has a closet literally full of supplements and protein powder. And she keeps buying more. Good times. All right. Enjoy the haul. I'll see you here for the outro. Thank you so much. All right, so this is a massive haul. This is a combination of, yes, more stuff from Redcon 1. I could not resist the Black Friday deals. Also, Trader Joe's, Amazon, my Subscribe and Save, and some other Black Friday things I got from NYX, so some makeup. So this is a little bit of everything. This is life items, food items, everything is included in this one. So let's start off with the Amazon, my Subscribe and Save items. So I opened this box already because I needed one. This is bamboo toilet paper. The thing I like about bamboo is that it is a renewable resource. And also, if you have not tried bamboo toilet paper, I highly recommend you give it a shot. It is lint-free, a little goes a long way, and it just feels a lot better on my skin. So I have this on Subscribe and Save, and it was also on some of their Black Friday deals. So I think I even got a little bit more off of it this time. So that was great. So that case came in. Also, I got laundry detergent. I was not out, but it was, again, something that's on my Subscribe and Save, and it was on a Black Friday special. So this is the one I get. I get the Persil Advanced Clean, Oxy, and Odor Power. It's really great. It's a little bit goes a long way. You can see how little the cap is, and I use like not even half a cap full. Keeps any gym clothes from smelling. It just is awesome stuff, and I have really sensitive skin, and it does not bother my skin. Also got replacement blades for my Philips One blade. These were also, yet again, a Subscribe and Save item that had a Black Friday deal, so it was perfect timing. Got my favorite psyllium husk powder. Love this. This is a great brand. The only issue I have with this is that the bag always breaks. So it's a resealable bag, but because I open it every day, the resealable works for, I don't know, maybe a week, and then it breaks, and I just end up having to use a chip clip on it. So I guess I could just put it in a jar. That might be what I do moving forward, is just dump it into a mason jar. That's a good thought. That's what I'm gonna do. So I got that. I also got a big bag of organic hemp hearts. This bag is huge. I mean, it's like a foot tall, but it's only filled to about there. But it is, it's 2 pounds of hemp hearts. These are organic. It was a great buy. They had them on a super great special, and I'll just throw these in the freezer once I open the bag. I'll put a little bit in I'll put some in a little mason jar, and then I'll put the bag in the freezer in between, like when I fill the jar. Those are great. I think I've mentioned in my last video that I do have a different set of macros on my rest days, and it's a little bit higher fat. So things like hemp seeds I really love and will be great to add into smoothies or sprinkle on top of chicken and veggies and everything else. So excited about that. Let's talk about the supplements because there's a lot of them. So NutriCost was on special. If you don't use VitaCost, VitaCost is an online kind of health food store, I guess, for lack of a better way to describe it. But they had a great deal. So Black Friday, it was amazing. You could combine the special, so it was like 20% off the entire website, and then NutriCost products were an additional 30% off, and you could combine them. So I got these supplements at an amazing deal, and they are my favorite digestive enzymes actually come from them. It's just betaine, HCl, and pepsin. I like them because they're dosed pretty high, so you can just take one, and they're capsule, which I prefer. These are great. So I actually got 3 of these. So I got 3 of those. I got a big container of taurine. I love taking taurine. If you'd like to know more about some of the awesome benefits of taurine, I will link my other podcast in the description box where I talk about how awesome taurine is. So it's a really great supplement to take. I take 1,000 milligrams 3 times a day, and I really love it. Helps with muscle cramps, helps with so many other things. Also got, I haven't opened these, and this is yohimbine. Yohimbine I do sometimes take when I'm on contest prep, and just because it was such an amazing deal, I'm like, you know what, might as well just pick some up. I didn't use it on my last prep. I used like it a little bit, but sometimes it can be a little bit too much. But it was just, like I said, since it was such a great deal, great to have on hand. So I picked up a bottle of that. And I also got some ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo is something I've recently added in, kind of for the cognitive benefits. And it's also something that helps with preventing vertigo, or at least that's what I've read. And last year when I came off a contest prep, I suffered with a really bad bout of vertigo, and I've just been really paranoid ever since. So I'm like, you know what, while it's on sale, I'll just pick one up. So love that. The second order that I ordered from Redcon One, like I said, that 50% off the entire website was just such an awesome deal. I could not pass it up, so I ordered more. And it was great timing because I was able to try these new protein powder flavors, decide if I like them, which I love them, and order more of them. So I got an L-citrulline. This is a pump product, so it really helps with pumps, and I like that kind of pumped feeling, but sometimes, you know, you just don't want to take more pre-workout to get more L-citrulline. So I got this just as an individual. It was like $9. It was such an awesome deal. Also got another EAAs. This is the Tiger's Blood, which is like a cherry coconut flavor. And another thing of the Canteen, which is just their hydration product. So it's good. It's, like I said, it's just a really basic, it's called Prime Time Punch, just a really basic fruit punch flavor. Not my favorite, not my least favorite, it's just kind of benign, just fruit punchy. And then I got 3 more containers of the Juniors MRE Light. I got 1 of the chocolate peanut butter and 2 of the raspberry swirl. These are all super, super delicious. In fact, I still might order more. So 1 of the chocolate peanut butter and then 2 of the raspberry cheesecake. And they're both delicious. The raspberry has a little bit more prominent flavor. I would say the peanut butter cheesecake is a little bit subtle, but just has a very subtle peanut butter. I don't know why I expected it to be like it does, because it does. It says peanut butter chocolate cheesecake. It's white. Like it's not like dark, it's not brown like a chocolate would be. So to me, it's more just kind of like a mildly peanut butter cheesecake flavor, but it is delicious. From NYX, it was missing an item, so I reached out to their customer support yesterday and they were awesome. They're actually gonna send me the product that was missing. So I ordered the fat lip oil in the color Newsfeed. This looks very red. Sorry, it's dark now at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it looks very red, but it goes on nice and sheer and kind of just a light pink, which is really nice. I love it, and it's not sticky. It's a lip gloss. I also got I thought I was getting something different, but that's because I didn't know. In the past, I've used their Thick It Stick It brow gel, and this is actually the brow glue, but I like it. I like it also. You have to be very careful with how much you use. It has this really tiny brush. Like the brush is this really itty bitty spoolie, just so tiny, but it's for your brows. And I've been trying to do my brows without having to like draw them in as much. So this has been helpful because it's medium brown. The other one I have is the blonde, but they were sold out. So I got the medium brown, and honestly, they're very close. For a redhead, I have very light brows, which yes, that makes sense. I had never tried this before. So this is the Fat Oil Slick Click Stick. I've gotten some that are similar to this from, why is the name escaping me? From Tarte Beauty, and really like them. So it's like a little, it looks kind of like a lipstick on the inside, but it's just like a gloss. So it's really pretty. And I don't know what this color is called. Does it say? Double Tap. This is number 10 Double Tap, but it looked really similar in color to the lip oil that I already knew I liked. So love these. And this is just handy because it's a little bit easier to put on. Like if you don't have a mirror, you don't have to like, no gloss, which is really nice. I got the Buttermelt Bronzer, and this is in the Deserve Butter, which is the medium to light, or the light to medium. I love it. I'd been using a bronzer from L'Oreal, I think, or Maybelline, and liked it, but this one I like a lot better. It's a little bit better match for my skin tone, especially when I'm not tan. Like it's a really nice skin tone match for me. And the thing I ordered from them did not come was I ordered one of the Buttermelt blushes. I ordered one for my prep makeup or for my show day makeup, and it's really pretty, but it's very pigmented. So I ordered the kind of more peachy one, and it didn't show up. So they actually have already rectified it. They're shipping me another one. I double checked. I'm like, I know I ordered a blush. Looked back through my recycling bin just to make sure I didn't accidentally toss it in the box, but I didn't. I knew I hadn't because I had broken down the box, so it would have fallen out. So I would have seen it. But either way, I did check, and the customer support was really, really helpful. They right away just offered to either refund me, which I'm like, no, I want it, or to ship it to me. So those were awesome. And the entire NYX website was 40% off for Black Friday. So really great time to buy makeup because makeup is expensive. All right, so that's all the packaged items, and then the things I got from Trader Joe's. So at Trader Joe's, like everything is green. I didn't realize that until I got home. Like, wow, basically everything I got is green. So I got a package of zucchini squash. They just looked so good. This zucchini squash has not been looking all that great from other stores recently, so I haven't been buying it, but I just happened to walk by and see these, and I was like, ooh, those are beauties. So I picked these up. Also got a bag of my favorite. These are the teeny tiny avocados. They're really little, like they're just itty bitty guys. So there's usually like 6 of them in the bag. Yep, and there are 6 in this bag. I think some of them are like so little. Like look how tiny that little guy is. He's just a baby. He's like the same size as a lip gloss. Like so little. But these are great, and they're usually 1 serving. So they're usually about 40 grams. I mean, they say they're 50, but when when you take the pit and everything out, they're usually about 40 grams, which is kind of between 40 and 50 grams is kind of a perfect serving of fat. It's like 8 grams, 7 to 8 grams. So those are awesome just to grab one and take with me for lunch or to put on my lunch. I don't just eat that for lunch. They had the turkey gravy in stock and on a great sale because it's after Thanksgiving. So I picked up one of these. It was like $1.60. I like making my own gravy, but handy to have on hand. Also got some frozen Brussels sprouts because I've been craving them lately, and they are a little bit high in carbs for prep time. So excited to have these. I don't always love frozen Brussels sprouts, but the Trader Joe's ones tend to be really good because they're really itty bitty, so they cook up really fast. And I love Brussels sprouts. Also got a big bag of the French green beans. Love these. They're just skinny little guys. Same thing. They cook up so fast, and I think they're actually gonna be delicious with the turkey gravy on them. Kind of do a Thanksgiving thing with some chicken breast and some green beans. Put some of that turkey gravy on it. It's gonna be super tasty. Picked up another one of the pizza sprinkles while I was there. I still have a lot left, but it's really good, so I just grabbed it while I was there because I don't always go to Trader Joe's. And a jar of cornichons because I love cornichons. They're expensive, like this little jar is the same price as like a big jar of pickles, but they're just a tasty little treat. So that was a treat for me. And it was my green theme. Like literally everything here has green on it. The lid is green. There's green beans in the background. Everything from Trader Joe's was green. So that is my massive shopping haul for the week. Hope you all enjoyed this. If you have questions about these products, let me know. If you do want to buy anything from Redcon One, they actually just came out just yesterday with a peppermint hot chocolate flavor MRE light. So if you want to pick that up, you can use my code, which is in the description below or on the screen here. Again, I'm not sponsored. I just love their products. So it gets you 20% off. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions about any of this awesome stuff I picked up. And we're back. And yes, I might order a little more protein powder because the sale is still going on the TikTok shop with Redcon One for a couple more days. And I just don't know if I can pass up getting just a few more tubs of protein powder while they are on sale. We shall see. We'll all find out together because if I do, you'll see them in a haul. All right, so until then, let's talk about how things are different with my new coach. Again, Aaron Burke, if you do not follow him, Bodybuilding with Aaron, give him a follow. Incredible content. He also is a guest on a lot of other podcasts. He's just an incredible person. So all of that said, he sent his feedback to me via video. So like I said, I can't really read it back, so I'll just kind of recap. But before I do that, let's talk about how just kind of the initial setup has changed. So right away, he said he wanted me to do a deload week. Deload week is light weights, normal rep range, but leaving a lot of reps in reserve. So using that reps in reserve to kind of, how many more reps could you do with perfect form at this weight? Keeping that rep, the RIR high, like a 6 to 8, which is really high. I mean, that's kind of like what you would do as a warm-up set in my mind. So the first few workouts, like I'd mentioned, I was still really cramping a lot during the workouts, like even just kind of trying to do this isolation movement, like with a different, not only the reps in reserve kind of in my mind, but he also has had me change the pacing of the reps. So really doing like a specific rep speed with each exercise as well. So there was a lot going on in my mind, like counting everything out and kind of figuring out how that all went. So the first couple workouts were a little rough because I wasn't really sure where the weight should be and just kind of was feeling a little bit, it was all new. But Now I'm on, as I'm recording this, I'm on my second week of these workouts. So the initial deload week was kind of just feeling everything out. I was recording every single exercise and sending them to him. If I have any clips, if I have clips, I'll insert them here. If not, I apologize. I tend to delete stuff off my phone like that because it just takes up a lot of space. So if I have some clips, I'll put them in of some of the new exercises. I put them in last week. I talked about it. I showed my reverse lunges and some of the pull downs. So you guys saw some of that last week. So got the feedback from him about my form. He gave me some really great cues for a couple of the exercises that I've implemented already. Everything else, I'm an advanced trainer. And so he said, I don't need to continue sending in daily videos, but obviously I can always send them if there's something I have a question about or need improvements on form or other questions. He has been absolutely incredible in understanding my current gym situation. I do have the two, my complex gym and then the rec center gym that I can work out between. And, it's actually been working out really well, especially with the deload week, because I'm not really trying to push heavy weights right now. Having, the lighter weights available has been totally fine. And really just working through execution on things. I also found a really unique new way to do hip thrusts, which I will show, that worked out really, really well. And just, it's been great to get kind of back in touch with how I'm feeling, more, kind of that active conversation with Aaron about my recovery. I really didn't realize how really awful I had been feeling for like the last 10 weeks. And that was something I said to him during my week 2 check-in. I tried to get this recorded before the weird lines came back, but there they are. The sun is so far to the south right now, it feels like it's barely even coming up. We're just gonna rock with it. We're just gonna roll with it. But like really kind of finally starting to understand and embrace how wrecked I've been feeling. You just don't realize it when you feel that way every day. It just kind of becomes your norm. The sleeping has been something, that he and I have really talked a lot about. And also, I'm having some slightly elevated blood sugar readings first thing in the morning, and it's called the dawn effect, but it's usually just because of an increase in cortisol. And I've been waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, just like amped and like ready, like awake. And that's not normal and that's not good. And in my mind, if I had a client coming to me, that would be the very first thing I'd think if they were telling me that, like, wow, like you're getting a crazy cortisol spike that is waking you up. And that's not normal. So some things to kind of do to implement some changes there. And then also just continue with another week of the deload. So rather than progressing on to my first mesocycle, just staying in the deload week again. So I did a couple of workouts that were a little bit heavier at the beginning of the week, but then just reverted back to the more deload style training for the remainder of the week. And I'm feeling a lot better, which has been great. Hoping that my sleep quality is good. I'm just not sleeping enough. And some of that's on me, like not getting in bed enough, not giving myself enough time to sleep, especially knowing that I have been having the tendency to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. A smart person would probably just start going to bed earlier, because no matter when I go to bed, I still wake up at 3. You might think like, well, maybe you need to stay up later, then you'll sleep more. I don't. If I go to bed at 8 o'clock, I wake up at 3 a.m. If I go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, I still wake up at 3 a.m. It's like my body doesn't even care what time I go to sleep. This is the time I'm going to wake up. And I don't want to wake up at 3. I like to get up at 4:30, like a normal person, like a sane person. So working a little bit more on like making sure that I'm really well recovered before I start to push into the next phase of my workouts. The other slight changes that we made is he's still having me on macros, which is great because, again, I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner. I understand how to eat and how to build meals, so I don't want to be on a food plan. Like, I don't want somebody to telling me exactly what to eat because that just doesn't really work with my lifestyle or the way I like to eat. So has given me macros, but has implemented macros per meal and what that split should be. So that is a little bit different, kind of hitting those goals. Again, I mentioned in the intro about the pre-workout food and also getting some intra-workout carbs and just kind of making sure I'm kind of hitting those macro breakdowns where they should be for meal by meal where he would like them versus me just kind of hitting the total overall as the day goes on. The other really big change, which is very new for me, I haven't had a coach do this for, a decade, was the last time I had, that's not true. I had a coach back in 2021 who did this, but only worked with her for a short period of time. So who does training day macros and rest day macros. So on my rest days, it's much lower carb, but much higher fat. the first couple of days of, I have 2 rest days a week. So that was very different for me. And I will say I struggled pretty hard that first one of just having no starchy carbs in my first several meals of the day and only having carbs in the evening with my last 2 meals. I definitely felt some kind of way. And again, I was also still not feeling super recovered at that point. So this week that has gotten a lot easier. It's still a little bit different and just kind of a mind shift of like how to kind of prepare for that day. The Fez June was an amazing, delightful treat to have on those days. So I did end up bringing some in for my assistant, and then I had the rest of it on my next rest day, which was Wednesday, broke it up into the couple of meals that day, and so delicious. If you did not watch last week's video, go back and watch it. Again, there's no recipe for it, but you can see exactly what I do. So it's very simple. Definitely recommend giving that a try. It was so good. So that's been really fun to kind of just, figure out new ways to make these macros work and what kind of food selections and all that stuff. I've still been eating as you've seen in my shopping hauls, the same foods I normally eat, just kind of broken up a little bit differently throughout the day and mixed and matched a little bit differently. So all that has been very good. So this, so far, the first, like I said, it's just kind of, getting used to the program, getting used to everything has been wonderful. I love the workouts. I love the focus. They are very, very much tailored to the areas I need to bring up. So a lot of focus on glutes, a lot of focus on shoulders, a little bit of accessory for the back and for the chest, but that's really it, some abs. So really good. Did also decrease my cardio slightly, which was fine. It was funny. He told me to aim for 8,000 steps a day. And if I was having trouble making that because, if I was sitting at my desk all day, I'm like, oh man, like most days I get I would say on average between 13 and 18,000 steps a day. So 8,000 steps a day is actually way less than I will get just normally. So that's, I've overshot that, and I do fill in, with accuracy where my steps actually are, and that's not including the steps I get during cardio. So even on a low day, I maybe get like 12,000 steps, and that's just because I walk a lot. I live in an area of the city where I can walk a lot for even things like getting my groceries, and just in general, I live on the 5th floor of my building and I take the stairs. So I naturally get a lot of steps. I have a standing desk at work. I do have a sit down desk that I usually feel like I'm a chained animal when I have to sit at. So I prefer standing at my desk, even during prep. And I walk a lot. So that's just kind of I don't want to start reducing my activity to like come down to that level. Instead, I'm just keeping my normal activity level, and then it's, easy to kind of change from there. And that's really the more important thing, is you want to make sure that where you're at as a baseline, like when we get into prep, when I need to increase, that it's an increase over what I'm doing anyway. So, yeah. So that has all been awesome. I am so excited. I have just, like I said in the intro, the amount of just kind of personal care and attention I feel like I've received has blown me away. Above and beyond what I have experienced with other coaches. And I've worked with, quite a few over the last 10 years. So I've had good and I've had bad and I've had in between. Nothing against my last coach. I will tell a little bit about how that all went. We did finally connect via video, because I am not the type of person who's going to just send him a text to, stop coaching with him. I wanted to really kind of talk it out with him. So he and I spent, maybe 10, 15 minutes on video. I explained to him, that I just needed to work with somebody who who I felt like was a little bit more in it. And that's just what it is. My previous coach was amazing. He competed many years ago. He still coaches actively, but he has a lot of other things going on at the same time, and he coaches a lot of other divisions. And I wasn't feeling like I was getting the attention I was clearly needing, and or didn't have the ability to communicate with him on a level that was working for me, which means it also then wasn't working for him. So it's not his fault that he wasn't able to communicate effectively with me. That's a lot on me. I didn't know what else to say. I was saying the things and then just not getting feedback on them, and then just assuming that we were fine. And clearly that was not the case. So no harm, no foul. I hope that he stays, in my life as a friend, or as a, person that I feel friendly with. So that's how that went down. And this happens, you change coaches. It's not the end of the world. You need to work with somebody who's working with you where your goals are in that moment. And my goals have changed, over the last 2 years. Like, my goals have changed. My body has changed. Like I've changed. So needed to make a change. And this change with Erin has been incredible. So I think that's it. I feel like I've taken up so much of your time today, but I really appreciate everybody being here. I did check with Erin to make sure it was okay that I, really put it out there that this is who my coach is. And he and I do plan to do more videos together talking about nutritional therapy. And he's open to doing videos about, my coaching also. So if you guys have specific questions, please leave them in the comments. Things you want to know specifically about my training, my plan, my nutrition, any of that. I will answer them to the best of my ability. And really appreciate everybody for being along on this ride with me. Hopefully it's going to be a little more interesting now. I'll try to get more gym footage, and I would still love more people to send me recipes that there are ideas for food that they want me to make more macro friendly, or see how I would fit their foods into my plan. I mean, within reason. If you send fried Oreos, clearly that's not going to work. But, other dishes that you love that maybe you just, haven't been eating because you couldn't figure out a way to make it work in your macros, something that you really love. So I think that's it for today. Hope everyone had an amazing week. Hope you have a great week ahead. We are less than 3 weeks out from the new year, which is crazy, but it is, it's going to fly by. So thank you all so much for being here. Spread positivity and light to yourself and everyone around you. It is a beautiful sunny day here, but those days in the winter are never guaranteed. So get out and enjoy it. If that's what you're dealing with today with some sunshine, go enjoy the sun. You are worthy. You deserve it. You deserve all the positivity. And thank you so much. I will see you here next time.